Oh man, can you believe it? It's that time again. I'm right over here, right? And hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It it is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is December 19th, 2025. We're gonna write a little bit of code today. I still haven't gotten all the color out of my beard from yesterday. That was a stream and a half. So much fun to have you here with me on stream as we went through and we were on the Twitch front page. Had a lot of fun writing code, talking to folks. I'm not supposed to say while we're streaming on the front page. I'm not supposed to talk about the viewer volume, but we had at times more than 3,000 folks watching the channel. It was amazing. Thank you so much, everybody that helped out yesterday while we were on stream. The moderators and all the folks that were tuned in and interacting in chat. Thank you so much for that. I just realized I need to make a little space next to me here for what's going to be happening later on stream. And yeah, I should have done this before we started. I've just got gunner glasses stacked up here. I need to get these put away or something. I don't know. Oh, we're gonna have a problem. And I still have a coffee cup from yesterday. What do I do? Yeah. All right. We will figure this out. I think I've got enough space. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right. Drinking coffee, coding C#, fantastic, John. Great to hear it. Let me say hello to some of the other folks that are here in chat. It's right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube today. Napalm, good to see you there in Pittsburgh. How you doing there? M. Pulowski in Marysville, Washington. Hope the weather is clearing up. Yeah, right. Washington's been hit with a ton of nasty weather. How you doing, Patty boy? M Rocks Forever. Hello. And of course, we're continuing to raise money for St. Jude. Today, we're going to be fulfilling one of the milestones, and it's scheduled. It's already on the schedule. I already placed the order. It's happening at 11:30, so that's in about an hour and a half. DoorDash, I've already got it set up. DoorDash is delivering an order of 10 wings from the local Buffalo Wild Wings, and I have 10 different progressively spicier sauces that we're going to line up, and we will host AMA style series of questions and go through and have some fun, putting the heat to me and talking about all the cool things that are going on in tech and answering your questions that might be going on. All right, so it's your chance to interview me while things are getting spicy. AMA during Hot Wings. Yes, I will be suffering. Oh yes, and it is. I think it's a fun stream to do. So that's coming up. Let me get some music playing in the background over here. There we go. We had a power outage, and I'm hoping we don't have another one here. Otherwise, it's going to be a real problem. I'm going to go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist today. I'm going to scroll down here somewhere. And this is called Bright Times. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres available. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. So there's a couple more redemptions coming here. We're going to be building. I need to finish setting up on the other side here. We're going to be building a Lego Game Boy. Mrs. C Sharp Fritz is going to join me, and we'll be hosting and doing that. I think it's going to be early next week, but it depends on her work schedule. We might end up having to do it in an evening time. And then we need to. I'm picking up hats, getting the customized hats. The first batch of those this weekend, I'm going to go pick up, and we'll get those in the mail. And we're gonna do the holiday speed coding challenge early next week. Yeah, that's coming. You think Microsoft is largely on Christmas break as the stream of NuGet updates has slowed? So there are a lot of folks that live outside the States. Microsoft folks who live outside the States, they've been gone for a couple weeks. They've been gone for a little bit because the volume of things that need to be done in December is typically very low. Somebody changed their mind about some of those things, and there were folks working through this week. So, but majority of the program managers are already checked out and out there. So that was the last of that was left over from yesterday. So good. Put that in the trash can under the desk. Luckily you don't need to leave the house for a while, so you're not impacted yet. Oh boy. Okay. Yesterday we got through a bunch of stuff. I didn't record a summary video afterwards. I probably should, because the work we did on the MCP was really cool. Maybe we just don't get into CodeMedic too much today, or we stay off of it and get into something else. Or if we do go into it, we do a completely different feature. So, PTO, yeah, it is a bit of PTO that's going on over there. Oh yeah. You're on PTO until January. Ah, terrific. Same here. So, it is Hot Wings in chat. We'll be getting into that in a bit here. And that's going to be fun. So, and it didn't put the text on the screen for that at all. And we do, yep, the map is filling out here. So next week, and then you're out until the 8th. Nice. So I was supposed to be back. I was supposed to be going back the 5th. And I'm going to be out of town that week. I have a family funeral to go to. And so I will not be streaming the week of January 5th, but the week of January 12th, I'll be back. So the following week. 12 days off and only use 4. Nice. Nice. The unlimited, so it's an interesting topic. The idea of unlimited time off. Because we were extended that same benefit, and unlimited time off means they don't have to pay out time off when they lay off people. And I think that was clearly a setup when they when they decided to go and lay off a whole bunch of folks. Like, all right, I get it. So yeah, whatever. So when the change happened between accrued paid time off to unlimited paid time off, I wasn't using all of my paid time off every year. I'm one of those people. And like I would carry over 2 or 3 weeks into the following year, accrue 3 more weeks, and only use like 3-4 days during the year. But then I started taking most of December off. And similarly, because of the days off towards the end of the month, I would end up only using like 2 weeks vacation and getting basically the entire, like 3 weeks off for only using 2 weeks vacation. It's like, fantastic. So, hey, C# Titan, good to see you. So the unlimited PTO, when you're a remote worker, feels weird, because the unspoken thing about being a remote independent worker who works from home, the thing that keeps you going, the thing that keeps you working, is guilt. Am I doing enough? Have I accomplished enough? Have I met my goals? Guilt. Like, the guilt of, are you doing your job enough? It's a powerful motivator. And it's something that keeps me from taking vacation regularly, I think is the word. Yeah. So, like, December, after .NET Conf, I'll do my final things that I need to do. The American Thanksgiving holiday happens, and then it's like, you know what? I'll do a week at the beginning of December, and then we're done. Goodbye. Unlimited PTO, great. I'm going to take 3-4 weeks off. Here we go. And since I don't take it the rest of the year, it's like, well, Fritz doesn't take vacation. Like, okay. So, yeah. How you doing there, PC nerd? Good to see you. I'm not going to answer that because it was addressed directly. It was addressed directly by Frank Shaw. And if Frank is talking about something, I cannot comment on it. Yeah. The long and short of it, of Frank's comment, is that article was debunked and was spun and proven completely inaccurate, is Frank's comment on it. You can read into it, you can see his tweets about that, but when the chief operating officer is commenting and engaged on articles like that, I can't get into it. Do I like using Copilot? Yes, I use GitHub Copilot extensively. Do I use Copilot that's running inside of other apps? No, not really. I do use Microsoft Copilot out on the website, but I don't really use it in the other apps, no. But as for the content of that article, you've seen me use GitHub Copilot extensively here on stream. Like, so. That's right. I am being nice about Copilot. And I believe Charlie is in timeout about talking about other AIs for another minute and a half. So don't wind him up. Let me make sure the quotes are
For science. You monster.
That's right.
No, wait, that's unfair to monsters.
Oh.
At least they're competent.
Oh.
Would you like some cake?
Oh, don't mind if I do. Thank you. I need to make Charlie a little bit ornery about gluten-free things, I think. That could be a thing. So yesterday, we really had a lot of folks pop up on the map yesterday. That was phenomenal. I had so much fun seeing that grow and fill out. Gluten-free cake is a thing. I'm not sure it's a good thing, but it is a thing. It was great. Let me go over to the map and you can see where we are so far today. And just pull that up a smidge and hang on. Pull that. There we go. Now we can see. I was thrilled with how yesterday went. The most of the changes that I had put in for Charlie worked perfectly. There were a couple things around the way that quotes were triggered that I wasn't too thrilled with, but I was okay with it otherwise. The map changes look like they're doing really, really good. So now that's a good one. Northwest England, and it hit Knoxville right away. So it should have queued that. Nope, I've only got Glasgow showing up. It might be having a hard time with Northwest England. No, it didn't even try it. So, but there we go. Look at them loading up there. Nalian, how you doing there? Smirking Squiggly. Hello, hello. But yeah, it's it was Lundo Spark. Oh no, Lundo Spark. I've already got you mapped. No, it says Northwest England. So where did it plot that? There should be a pin on Lancaster. Yeah. Okay, so what that tells me, it triggered 2 pins at the same time and didn't properly queue them. Like, they're there, but it didn't add it properly. It should have picked it up and hit the queue and go after it the next time. So, we already got you, Lundo Spark. Yep. It did identify you in Northwest England, and I think there we go. So you love how Blazor gets so much better and faster with each release. This is Blazor. There's absolutely great improvements that have been added. They've got more planned. It's a good framework. The folks that knock it don't appreciate what it was designed for and what it benefits. Is it going to go head to head with React and do something better? No. It's not going to dominate the world, but is it going to solve the needs of .NET developers? Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's going to give you a good migration path forward. Oh, that's interesting. Dbart Dog, it didn't pick that up. That's another interesting bit of phrasing that it didn't quite pick up. I will grab that one as well. But try it again and it should pop in there. How do you learn C++? Practice. Practice. I practice writing little applications. And frankly, today, in today's climate, I would open Copilot and ask it to review the code that I've written and comment on it and provide me feedback. That's how I would go about helping and getting assistance on things like dynamic memory when you're working with a programming language that you're learning. Ask the AI to help you. Like, hey, look at my code and help me understand this topic. Look at the code, help me understand this topic. Give me some feedback about what I'm doing right. Here's the goal that I'm trying to achieve. Help teach me how to do that better. And you'll be very surprised at how well the AI can get you there. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to wear, these are the pinnacles I'm going to wear today. little bit larger gunner glasses that I'm wearing. Really, really wide. Oh, go ahead. You want to take a look at that? Go ahead. Take a look. Take a look. Look, 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 look. I didn't hear that either. So, yep, there it is.
Ravenclaw hat confirmed.
You better believe it. So, you're paying for the yearly subscription? Yeah. For some folks, it works out really nice. We had somebody yesterday drop into chat while we were on Twitch front page, and bragging that Cursor was better than Copilot. Cursor is a add-on on top of Visual Studio Code. Cursor's fees are going up significantly, and people are looking for different, better, less expensive tools, and Copilot fits that bill to me. So Cursor also does some things that I don't exactly agree with. Like when you install Cursor and you go to run Visual Studio Code, it replaces Visual Studio Code on your path. Like, that's not cool. Hey, Ergenrod, good to see you. You have a monthly subscription, still need to learn how to optimize your use, when to use the premium models and when to use the free ones. The auto selection for models is supposed to help with that. Let me go over. Does it still have? Nope, it doesn't. Yep. I want to go into here. And yeah, there's an auto mode that you can turn on with Copilot, and it will try to select the least expensive options that will meet your needs. Quite frankly, the GPT 4.1, 4.0, and GPT 5 Mini are going to do a lot of simple and easy refactorings very quickly for you. They're going to do some other things pretty well also. I like to use Claude because it's so good at being descriptive and exploratory and getting into other things. It's just sometimes it gets a little bit off the chain and you need to reel it back in. Hey there, Lou. Thanks so much for chiming in Traverse City, Michigan. See, I got that right. Yellow River, how you doing? CTI Geek says, I've heard Gemini is very good for coding. Haven't tried it yet. I think that comment is subjective for various programming languages. There are some programming languages that some of the models are really good at. There are others that other models are really good at. Quite frankly, I with no insight into this, no information, I would love to see a .NET optimized Copilot model get released. You're not going to see that level of optimized model released because the models right now are iterating so quickly for the general purpose stuff that and take so much power to rebuild the model. I mean, you see a new model each month. And it doesn't make sense to build a more targeted model yet. I would love to see it though. Love to see it. Auto mode always seems to go for premium models for you. I see it bringing the GPT models for me when I turn it on. Sam likes the auto mode because it would just never touch the premium ones, and now it can decide for me. You wish Claude Opus was cheaper. So this is what, right? This is where, up here. New models are more expensive. New models have more demand on them. when the next one comes out, you'll see the prices of those go down. Claude Sonnet 4.5 was a 10X model for a while. Like, ooh, okay. So you'll see it come back in. Ravnos, hello. You like my candy cane? Yeah, I tried to wash it out, and looks like I need to go around a couple more times here. So you're absolutely right, Patty boy. The way that Claude says that is just, it's so precious. It's not it's Traverse. Okay. Chris Funk is in Bellefonte. Oh my goodness. Yes. Bellefonte's some stomping grounds. I was in not this football season, last year. There was an Airbnb that I stayed in just on the other side of Bellefonte, on Bald Eagle State Park, right on the pond, Bald Eagle Pond. There, it was on the other side of the pond. So it was pond, lake, I don't know, Bald Eagle Lake. Sure, sounds good. But I had this lake house every weekend during the football season. I had it reserved for Friday and Saturday night. So and we ended up cutting a deal on the Airbnb with the owners. And a beautiful place. Three bedrooms upstairs, big sectional couch downstairs on the first floor, and then the lower floor, the basement had a ping pong table, pool table, had another bathroom and a bed down there. Really nice amount of space. Very cozy, lots of windows. Really enjoyed that place. But man, when I got to the end of the football season, I look back, I spent a lot of money on that place. I spent a lot of money. So switching to the RV and the camper lifestyle has been much more fun. You tried it when it was 1X for a week, and when they introduced it, it was amazing. Then went to 3X, and you haven't touched it. I get it. I'm wondering if premium Copilot use is going to turn into something like the like you see with police giving out speeding tickets, right? At the beginning of the month, ooh, I need to go meet my quota. I'm going to go issue speeding tickets. And then you get into like the second week and it's like, you know what? That donut shop looks really good over there. I'm going to go grab a donut and have some coffee and enjoy the morning while the traffic's going by. And then they get to the last week of the month and it's like, I got to meet my quota. And they're issuing tickets like crazy. I bet you the premium use on Copilot is going to see a similar curve where beginning and end of the month, there's a lot of use. But between like the 7th and the 21st of the month, it's going to be like nobody's using it. Just like, oh my gosh, look at how many requests I've used. And then you get to like the 22nd and it's like, wait a sec, I still have 50% of my premium requests left. Let's go. And the productivity that folks will have and the new things that get invented on like the 27th of the month or the 2nd of the month or sometime between those two. It's like, You saw that there's an extension in Visual Studio 2026 for Copilot Autocomplete. No, that's been part of the app for. It's not an extension; it's kind of built in. So, you don't have Auto or Opus on the Copilot CLI. So the Copilot CLI does not have access to as many models as you get in Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code. I don't know what the deal is there and when that's going to level out, but I expect them to deploy at the same rate at some point. But yeah, I definitely am enjoying using the CLI, the way that it rolls out and does some interesting things over there. And you can use it to automate working at the console is really nice. Hey, The Way, how you doing there? You were in a tense meeting yesterday with your team lead and the client's team lead about best practices. In my opinion, should teams follow best practices blindly, or each team should be flexible in adapting what works best for them? Mom! Mom! Stop the press! Holy smokes! Mom with the $300 dono! Oh, look at that! Thank you so much! Oh my goodness! I never expected that. I thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. Wow. And taking care of groceries for a family at St. Jude. Thank you so much for that support for the kids, the families, the friends at St. Jude, of course. Wow. Just phenomenal. I'm trying to bring my Tiltify dashboard up here so I can take a look. That is absolutely a Christmas donation gift. There goes my inheritance. No. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm always just tickled when my mother and my dad shows up and have a good time here in chat. But yeah, groceries for the family, for a family, that is awesome. But that also puts us across the $3,500 milestone. That milestone that I had set. This is one. Mom, I want you to help weigh in on this, and I haven't seen her in chat yet. I since you helped get us here, I want to get Mom's feedback to get us started here. Our $3,500 milestone. I'm gonna bring back Fritz's book club for a stream, and I will read a classic sci-fi book live in books on tape, books on tape style. There she is. Thank you so much, Mom. There we go. This is phenomenal. Thank you so much for helping out with St. Jude this year. That means a lot. Thank you. I'm tearing up here. So look at that. Look right there. So the $3,500 milestone is to do this reading of a public domain sci-fi book, and it'll be available free for anybody to download on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to listen to it, right? And the way that I've done it before is I'll set up at the other set so that I'm reading and the book is in the background, so you can see the text of the book as I'm reading it. So whether you have headphones on and you're just listening to it while you're out doing whatever, or you want to watch and read along, the text will be there on screen as well. There, you saved a couple dollars from milk. Oh boy, yeah, that's coming up. That's coming up 11:30, so about an hour out for that. I wasn't going to do milk. I have like rehydration, liquid IV types of packets that I was going to use for that. I was considering telling the DoorDash guy to pick up some Powerade, and I decided against that. I do have Gatorade in the house though. So, friends, I keep a 6-pack of Gatorade in the bottom cabinet of my bar downstairs, so that in the bottom cabinet, it's not a bar, it's a liquor cabinet. I keep it in the bottom cabinet of the liquor cabinet so that If you need to, you've got it taken care of. Something with fat in it is the best bet. I've heard that as well. Yeah. So let me do this. Public domain sci-fi books. Now there were a couple books that were suggested here. Plain rice? No. Only wings to eat. Like here, let me go over to the other screen. Greek yogurt. That's not bad. That's not bad. So to that $3,500 donation, I want your help, chat, to select a good sci-fi book to read. Now, I don't want to do something that's very long that I'm going to be listening to, that I'm going to need to read for a while. Is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein on here? There are a couple Philip K. Dick books. Order it by the author, not by popularity. Asimov. Like, wait. Oh, here we go. I thought there were more Asimov ones. Nah, go by popularity again. So, Island of Dr. Moreau, that might be a little bit out there. Journey to the Center of the Earth. And then, of course, I bounced this off of Copilot as well. Time Machine is one. Is Frankenstein in here? So which ones? There's a few. What's the difference? Well, wait, these all look like they're the same name. No, all of these. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's Starborn. Okay. Let me also do this. So, Mom, you helped get us over that milestone. Take a look at the list of public domain science fiction books and throw one on the list here that we can consider and we can vote towards. And it's important that I do public domain because books that are currently under copyright, I can't perform. And that's copyright reasons. Like, I've seen other folks do that, and I don't want to be caught in a copyright thing, and that's a Twitch and YouTube thing. Suggest a public domain. Oh, we got to do this. Yes, I'm human. That's me. I'm right here. Suggest a public domain sci-fi novel that I could read on a 6-hour live stream as a book on tape. Suggest 5 public domain sci-fi novels. Just give me a couple. Right, and I think I've gone through this once or twice. So, looking at Project Gutenberg, a pall of air. Okay. 2BR02B. I'm not familiar with that from Vonnegut. The Time Machine, that comes up again. The God of Mars. Island of Dr. Moreau. Okay. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Like, I would love to read something like a Stephen King book, but I worry about copyright. That's the only concern. Fully public domain. First published in 1886. Is it good for a 6-hour live stream? Yes, it fits beautifully. Most narrators finish it in 2 to 3 hours. Oh, fantastic. It's more gothic horror than pure sci-fi. Okay. There was one. In Starborn. By Andre Norton. So, and I'm just going to leave that redemption of that donation there. Thank you. That is phenomenal. Sci-fi is a broad topic. Dracula? That's out there. You're right. Okay. 212 pages in its original edition, according to Wikipedia. Puts it at about 5 to 6 hours to read aloud. Mid-century sci-fi adventure, aliens, telepathy, and exploration. Pacing is brisk. It's less well-known than Wells or Burroughs. Okay. Okay. Star Wars is a little bit high fantasy. You're right. Is there anything in the cyberpunk genre we could consider that is public domain? I don't think so. Like, I would love to read Neuromancer, but I don't. I think it's still under. I think it's still under copyright, and the fact that Gibson is still alive doesn't help that too much. Yeah, see, these are right. We've got to go back 70 some years. Yes, we are going to be coding. Yeah, began in the 80s. So. Okay. So, yeah, we just had a great donation there. It turns out it was from my mom, from my parents, and we're reviewing what would be a science fiction book that I will read live on stream. RUR, and that was mentioned up here. I'm not familiar with that. Rossum's Universal Robots. Introduced the word robot. Corporate dystopia, artificial workers, rebellion. And we, surveillance state, numbered citizens, lost individuality, direct influence on 1984. That's not bad. Metropolis. Go get it, Copilot. Tell me about that. German expressionist science fiction film directed by Fritz Lang. Wealthy planners and oppressed workers. Yep. Pioneering science fiction film. The film is public domain. The novel is public domain. How long would it take to read Metropolis? John Carter from Mars. Yeah. Well, that's just it. They're public domain. They're not really in print. You can get them from Project Gutenberg and read it on your Kindle, read it on a web page. It's a PDF. About 4 hours, 33 minutes. But I'd be reading it aloud. So it'd be about 8 hours, 9 hours. That's a little bit too much. It's just it's longer than a 6-hour stream. Split it up. Let's do this. I do like the idea of doing the books on tape, the live reading Fritz's book club. Yeah, what was the reading time for Frankenstein? Tell me about Frankenstein for a live stream. Yeah, it says it's on Project Gutenberg, so you should be able to go there and download the PDF. I'm not saying that I won't read it, but so right here's the thing. This is kind of a what they call in the business a backdoor pilot, right? I'm going to do one of these, and if it's received well, I'll do more. Like, okay, we tried testing this before, and if it's received well, we'll do more. So Frankenstein is going to be about 7 to 9 hours. It's going to be. It's gonna, we're gonna want to do it across 2 sessions. I could do some of that. So we've got a couple options. I'm going to start a discussion on the Discord. Where did my Discord go? Here we go. Hey, friends. We've hit a goal where I will perform. Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. A reading of a public domain sci-fi book. The video and audio will be available for everyone from my YouTube. But I need your help deciding on a book that I could read in 6 hours. That I could read in a 6-hour stream. Some suggestions: Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Frankenstein. What else did we have here? Metropolis is a little long. I'm going to pass on that one for now. Starborn. I should put links to these. The Time Machine. So there's an initial entry there on the general channel. Give me some suggestions and we'll put together a poll. All right. So that's handed off. It's on the Discord, so you can take a look. Let's do a 20-minute stream and take a power nap the rest of the time. No. So these are some good options. I like it. I want to make sure Mom weighs in a little bit here. Because it was her donation that put us over, and also some of the folks out there that have made donations. I want to hear from you. If there's one that you would like more than others, or you'd like to put a little bit of weight behind. So let's narrow it down. And like I said, this is going to be a backdoor pilot. We'll record, we'll do one stream, we'll get it published out on the YouTube, and then we'll decide, is this something we want to do once a month, once every 2 weeks? My friend Christy Schuyler, she does a bunch of ASMR and reading streams, and had a lot of fun doing those, and we've tried to do it in the past as well, and I figured why not circle back to it and give it another try. So let's see what we can put together. So once again, thank you so much, Mom. Like I don't pressure my family into anything about my streams, about contributing or doing anything. I am so happy that she decided to that my parents decided to help out with the donation there. Where was I? I had get it right. Where am I going here? Oh, look back at the question queue here. All right. And I wanted to also check. Let me check my monitor settings here. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think you're right, Patty boy. Where did it go? If I do, no, it's over here. Advanced audio properties. There we go. Right, and jump back into that. That should work. C# Titan with a question here. Do large code files impact Copilot performance when making changes? Yes. Think about what the AI does. The artificial intelligence, like Copilot, brings in your question, any instructions that it has, any information about an agent that you're assigning to work on it, as well as the context of the files that you're asking it to look at. You only have so big of a context window, right? It's only, let's say it's only this big. Well, if you're filling that up with a prompt and a bunch of instructions, well, then you've only got this much space for files to be loaded in. And it's looking at all the content of that file. So, right, the more focused you can give Copilot a series of instructions, background information to look at and understand your project and build with, the better opportunity you have of getting a desired result. Granted, you want to be very explicit in what you explain and ask for Copilot to do. So it takes a balance. It takes a balance, and that's where some of the art of discussion comes in. Thanks so much for the question. As always, those lower third questions, that's going to be marked and archived over in the Discord. There is a channel in my Discord. If you ever want to go back to some of those questions that come up, you can find it in the live stream questions Q&A. And if you click in there, you will see there is a link that will take you right to that part of the recording where I answer that question. So you'll see the question as the title of the thread. Click into it and you'll see the video replay. So that's something that we make available. We saw that yesterday when we gave it a large file. It was too big. You're right. Yep. That was disappointing. All right. What's the Discord link? The one in the bio says, oh no. Stand by. Invite to server. Expires after never. No limit. Yeah. Here, I'll paste one. Try that, and I'll update the one on the channel. Oh, I need to do it logged in as me. Let's see, what do we got here? Yep, that's me. And suggested collaborators. Yay. The one in my bio. I don't have a Discord in my bio. Twitter, blog, YouTube archive, GitHub. YouTube channel, Twitter, blog. And the Discord button. It looks like it's working. Yeah. Yep. Below the bio with all the other info. Yeah, all right. Moving on. There we go. Lundo Spark dropped in. Let me close this. Yeah, public domain sci-fi books. So, and here's the link to Project Gutenberg. So, these are, right, these are free, free books, public domain. Anybody can download and read them, enjoy them, share them, republish them, what have you. So, public domain, they're free for anybody to use. I'm not going to go into this just yet. I want to do a little bit of coding on Tamil first. So, and part of me says I should go remove the old Tamil, because this new one kind of supersedes. We have all these contributors too. When we started building out a test suite, and of course in the markdown it's separated by spaces. Of course it is. That's not a bad idea to bring over. Yeah, and the documentation over here could use a refresh. Yeah. There we go. See, and that didn't play for me over here. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah, I think I would archive it. Like, let's rename it first. I know it's available. Do it. Do it now. And where do we go? Archive the repository. Yep, that's fine that it becomes read-only. So, you just started playing with Visual Studio Insiders? Yes, it is clean. It's much faster. Much, much faster. So, so ReSharper runs now out of process. The Razor editor now runs out of process as well. And there's a enhancement to that makes the Razor editor much, much better. So those are things to be aware of. Okay. So I'm going to go back to New Tamil. Why am I? And I'm going to rename this one. What's the difference between insider and community? Let me bring that up because that's a good question. That's a good question, Annette. What's the difference between Visual Studio Insider and Visual Studio Community? Visual Studio Community is a free version of Visual Studio that's available for folks who are working on community projects, folks who are hobbyists, folks who are in education. They're allowed to use Community free. Community has the same level of features as Professional. Insider is what we used to call the preview or the pre-release train. So Insider is going to give you access to things that are in flight, currently being worked on. So Insider is more of a quality, quality train, right? So you have Insider and you have Release. You have one of those two. And on those two trains, right, you have Community, Pro, and Enterprise SKUs with different features that you can download. So does that help clear things up? Let me know. Happy to talk more about this, Annette. Thanks for the question. That's a good one that we get every now and again, and it's good to make sure that we all understand it. So appreciate you asking the question there. All right. So I did the rename over here, and is that going to work with, like, do I now need to go reset all of my Git connections? See, that's still, right? I did the rename, so now if I go to just Tamil, it routes to over here. But if I do that, and if we look at, yeah, see the location changed. Not terrible. You're welcome, Annette. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in on YouTube. So, I'm almost out of coffee, and that's okay because the hot wings arrive in 30 minutes. And I'm keeping an eye on my DoorDash here. So, yep, the order has been confirmed by the local Buffalo Wild Wings, and they'll let me know when it's on its way. So I guess I need to change that. So I've never done this with a Git repository. Let's have fun with that. So I called it, it's still new Tamil. So, right, if I do Git remote, how do I change this? I may have to clone it again. Oh, I hope not. Yes, you're allowed to work with that. Thank you. I renamed this repository on GitHub, and the new address for it is how do I update my remote source in the local repository, right? Here we go. I shouldn't have to clone it again. I thought there was a way that you could edit it or a command you could do. So there, it's going to take a look at it. Yeah, how do I update the Git remote? Git remote set URL. Okay. That makes sense. Git remote set URL. Okay. That makes sense. I'm good with that. I'm out of coffee. This is no good. No good. Very bad. All right. You've been in a situation when you badly corrupted your Git repository using Git commands. That's right. That's one of the reasons that we keep forks and origins and a local copy. We have 3 copies effectively of the source code. So if you mess up locally, you can go get a fresh copy remotely. That was more sensible than going in and just editing the file. But Lundo Spark, to your point, what that command line is doing is probably exactly what you did, editing the file directly. Right? I'm just... Right, and I used a premium request to do that. Was that premium request worth it for me? I could have looked it up and in the help, and it would have taken me a few seconds. Maybe. Like, all right, yeah, I could have done that. I could have done that. Right? Where I'm only halfway, I'm less than halfway through my premium request for the month. I know. I get a different allocation of premium requests than the average person. I get it. I do. So, what is this? Build. What is build remote index? I don't know what that means. So, yeah, using the command to do it means that when Git's internal documentation changes, that command will still work versus the remote file might change. I was over here in Tamil building a configuration reader for .NET. Let me finish that off here and we can talk about some other things. So the idea with Tamil is that what started as a goof, picking on and complaining about YAML, which I really don't like. Let's put together a markup language that is only tabs and new line statements. There's one or two other special characters in there that we'll get into, like the comment you see there on lines 1 and 2. But for the most part, for typical markup and content, it is just text, new line, more text, tabs. Very simple to read and understand. And the idea that I started running with, because I like doing a little bit crazy things, let's build a configuration extension so that, no, I'm going to rename the file. Let's build a configuration extension for .NET so that if you want to write your configuration in a Tamil formatted document, instead of app settings JSON, you can use Tamil if you'd like. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have app settings Tamil? Wouldn't that be cool? I'm going to have to twist David Fowler's arm to do that, but he doesn't even know this exists. So, given that Visual Studio is free to use in the Community Edition, what draws you to Visual Studio Code for streaming and coding over Visual Studio? So, part of what I do here, I'm trying to attract new folks to C# development, to coding on whatever platform they're using. So by using Visual Studio Code, I'm able to show an editor that works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'm able to show an editor that some folks might already be familiar with a cool layout and coloring here that I'm that has the exact same background color as my background over here. That's kind of cool. But they'll look at this and they'll initially think, oh, that's my preferred language. Oh, somebody yesterday was like, hey, that looks like Python. No, it's not Python. Hey, that looks like JavaScript. Oh, that's web markup. I know web markup and I know that editor. And they'll tune in, right? It's trying to provide a sense of comfort for folks who are used to using Visual Studio Code. .NET developers know and are comfortable that I can use Visual Studio, I can use Visual Studio Code. It's a question of recruiting folks and getting folks interested in the tools, the technologies, and what I'm using. So, like, I could do streams in a tricked out NeoVim with extensions and syntax highlighting build. I could do that. Is that going to attract more folks? No. The folks who use Vim and are locked in and really like Vim want nothing to do with a technology that even smells like it came from Seattle. Like, you mention the M word. The company's name that starts with M, and they walk the other way. There's even a group of folks that see on my bio that I work for Microsoft and refuses to listen to me, to read anything that I write, and some of them have issued death threats. Like, that's who these people are. I have nothing to do with any of those things. But that's what that class of folks feels about anything that has to do with Microsoft. They ostracize the world, and if Microsoft gets involved in anything that they see as their preference, it's no longer a preference anymore, and they dump it and they go the other way. Okay. You're welcome to do that if that makes you happy. So, as someone that likes C#, .NET, Linux, NeoVim, and open source, hey, I want to spend time building out a NeoVim configuration that is tricked out for .NET developers. I want to take either a stream or take some time and work on getting a Vim configuration that has the language server configured, the plugins configured for syntax highlighting, that has keystrokes set up that are familiar for .NET developers in Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio, so that not only can you use the normal Vim keystrokes, but you can also use keystrokes that are very familiar for .NET developers, and see where that goes. That could be a lot of fun. That could attract more folks to use C# and .NET. Don't know. You've tricked yours out? Okay. Even working on getting a debugger set up. That's where there's a little bit of a challenge, because the .NET debugger is only licensed for use in Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio. So, let's build a little bit here. This is going to need to be addressed at some point. I want to add another an overload for this, right? Public static. Yeah, there we go. And not app.taml. Let's do app settings. Right? Nope, it's not licensed for Rider. Nope. The .NET, so folks don't understand I'm sorry, that the .NET debugger that evolved from the Visual Basic debugger, right? And the same underlying technology is used in the C++ debugger, right? Mom's here? That debugger, it is quite literally the Cadillac of debuggers out there in the technology world. The things that you can do with the .NET debugger will make that Rust developer's head spin. There are people that are using Go and JavaScript that have never seen a debugger. Their heads will explode if they see how you can start debugging, hit breakpoints, skip lines, go backwards in the debugger, watch windows, local windows, immediate execution windows, right? All of these things that we take for granted that are in the .NET debugger, these folks have never seen. They have no idea how to use a debugger. They know how to read log files. That's it. The productivity gain that they would get in just using a debugger is light years beyond what they can fathom working with log files. They don't understand it. They don't want to understand it because there's an artificial prejudice there. You know what? I'm going to debug my way all the way around you. So, the hatred is insane. That's right, Chris. Yep. And I knew it going into the job, and that's something that I deal with. It's like, go ahead and I don't care if you tell me that you hate me. Go for it. Tell me whatever you want. That fine. I don't care. Don't get my family involved. My kids have nothing to do with this. I don't write and build the technology that you don't like. And it's a technology. Come on. Don't get my family involved. They have nothing to do with this. So, you feel like as the years march on, my code themes get wilder and wilder? I love this cyberpunk theme. There's a red version of it as well. Like, where is it? Yeah, color theme. Right, there it is. Scarlet. That feels... Umbra is the one that I'm typically using. So, the Cyberpunk one is a little bit hard to read, but the Umbra one, the highlights are just a little bit better. Use NeoVim inside VS Code. Okay. And then run the debugger there. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can do that. So, there are folks that question and don't understand the lateral and I'm in a career-wise. You get some skepticism, but some questions, nothing like that. Yeah. No. Hey, Thindall, hello. My current physical and psychological state, I am feeling good. I'm happy. In about 15-20 minutes, the buffalo wings arrive, and here we go. And the overlay isn't talking. Why aren't you talking? Talkie. And by science, I mean debugging, which you should do now. Okay. Let me try throwing another one at that just to see if I can get it to...
I am putting myself to the fullest possible use, which is all I think that any conscious entity can ever hope to do.
Let me catch up here. One. Yeah, you can open NeoVim in the console of VS Code. You can actually, right? Did you know you could do this? So there's the terminal. You can actually, there's a way to open the terminal as an editor. Like, you can do that. Yeah. I thought there was a way to open the terminal as a chat window as well, as a primary window. So, yeah, in the editing area, that's right. Thanks, John. Thanks. That's okay. Yeah, I'll let those through. How do you debug things in an environment where you don't have a debugger? They log things like crazy. Yep, reading logs. You're right. So DoorDash is coming soon. Yes. Nope, Mrs. C# Fritz is at work. So you have a chapter in a book full of them? I've written blog posts that are saved on my home server over here that at some point 2 years after I leave Microsoft, I will put together and I will publish a book about a bunch of things that have happened during my time. And yeah, that's oh, there you go. Right, the panel size here, you can just make it the full size. Yup. and DA. So tests go a long way. Yes. And between tests and logs is what you'll see folks lean into. So, where was it? I want to go here. No. So we are at 3540 on the St. Jude fundraiser. Big thanks, like I said earlier. Mom with the donation. No singing. Oh, that's good. Thanks. Let me continue here. Cannot convert iConfiguration Builder to Configuration Builder. Well, okay, fine. I'll do that then. No, I. All right. Yeah. Don't really need a parameter name. Sure. Let's say for the standard, there we go. App settings Tamil file. Nice. Should we do the debug and release environment thing? There's a whole way that it does that. Ads are running for another 10 seconds on Twitch. If you're on YouTube watching, no ads. I think that's fine for now. So a Tamil configuration source has this ability to just build. What does that do? A Tamil configuration provider path. Okay. What's that? It's an iConfiguration provider. Okay. Make one of those. Ooh. Hey. You have a major problem with Tamil? Help me out here, Thindal. Bring it. I will take your YAML Tamil Pepsi challenge. Lay it on me. And don't tell me it's you don't like tabs. Like, that's fine. Go use YAML. I want to make this easy. You need to learn and get into these new fancy config languages. YAML, Tamil, PAML, screaming into the void, AML. Camel. You can use JSON. Totally. Go for it. Be my guest. I like tabs. This started as a goof, and it's now turned into... I'm enjoying learning a little bit more about how to create my own markup language and the different ways to integrate it. Ini files, done. That's right. Config.ini. Nothing more to see here. I was a big fan of web.config, right? The XML files. Like, literally, I made, 10 years of my career on just manipulating XML. Once natural language processing is perfected, we can do everything in plain old English. So, at that level, I don't care what the file looks like on disk because the machine is managing it. Right? A highly compressed machine readable, I don't care about it being human readable, machine readable configuration language or markup language. Like, I don't care. Compress it and push around just the raw bits in GZ format. I don't care. Web config is still a thing behind the scenes. Yep. So schemas in JSON are a thing, and they've just reinvented XML. I may have started a concept. For schema? A concept. Just an idea. Is it going to be a thing? I don't know. Make the bad man stop.
That error message.
Which error message?
Oh, it's crying for daddy, and I'm daddy.
Okay. Copilot can be awesome sometimes. Yes. Using Copilot. When your mind's in a little bit looser state. Maybe you've had a nice adult beverage. Whatever it is that you might partake in. There's some interesting things that Copilot can steer you back to the right path. Did I read it? Yes, I did. Every word, and actually tweaked and pushed back on it on a bunch of stuff. Yes, I was vibe coding and testing the Balmer peak. Mm-hmm. Totally. So, so we're going to create a new one of these and pass in a path. So we should probably, take in a path. Because you can't create one of these without it. Vibe coding's pushing to prod without it. Okay. Don't tell Balmer. Wouldn't it be easier to start from a grammar, though? Something like extended backness? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that at all. I'm coming at this from the point of view that like, I didn't study computer science. I don't have that background. So I come at things more practically. I come at things from the point of view of just, here's the solution I want. Go build it. And I'll learn the things along the way to get me there. But you have given me something, though, that I would like to learn more about. And I'm going to copy that into my notes to spend some time with after stream. PSU IST trained? Yeah, not me. Nope. They didn't have the information science college when I was there. So, 6 months, 25% of C++ 101. I have just enough C++ to be dangerous. Here, let's do load. Let's load up our Tamil document here.
We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life.
Oh?
Particularly when debugging your code, sir.
Okay. That's... Well, wait a sec. So if I go back over here, Tamil core, Tamil serializer. Like, I don't have a document structure. Like, it'll just load up into an object. Where is it? Deserialize. It'll just push it into an object. So I don't have a way to specifically parse and read the different... Yeah, see, deserialize from lines. I think I need a Tamil document. that this is populating and loading. Yeah. I don't have a load from file, and then I wouldn't have a way to do some of these interactions. And I don't, what's a reload token? I don't know what to do with that. Okay. Hey, Digital Drummer J, hello. It's spicy C# has been spicy. I am waiting for DoorDash. Checking it now. Oh, it is on its way to me right now. Yeah. They're just on the other side of town. About 5 minutes away. Fantastic. Yeah, I need a Tamil document object. Okay. So let's create a new file over here. A Tamil document. Right, give me a namespace. Don't mind. No. Public class. That's right, Tamil document. Sure, load from file. We'll do something there. Yeah. I also should probably have a save. Right? Public void, no, task. Save to file async. We'll implement that. It'll be basically no. No. Stop it! Really? You're going to do this to me? Serialize the... Yeah. And now you're going to throw in... Club garbage collector. I could do that as an emote. That's not a bad idea. A garbage collector... Fritzbot. That's not a bad idea. And then we can put it on a hat. Okay. I don't know what this looks like. I don't want to think about what it looks like because I've seen some of this before and it's like, oof. I'm going to add the serializer. I need a generic Tamil document that describes the shape of a document that has been read from Tamil format or is going to be written in Tamil format. Period. I eventually need to be able to use this with my configuration builder. All right, let's move you into the editor area and move you over here. Let's fix some of these. Where was it? The Tamil configuration builder. No, don't have that. No, we're not going to look at that. Here. I'm going to move you to a new file. So now I can do... with my configuration provider. Go get it, Claude. Do that high-level stuff to start building out the document. There you go. Dictionary-based approach similar to JSON documents. Fantastic. Once we get an initial structure, we'll do things to optimize. We'll wire it up to the configuration builder and grow these concepts. So I am keeping an eye out for my DoorDasher. Yep, just about here. You realized how much easier ASP was than Perl, and then you realized that on-error go-to-next was bad in ASP. Then you found ASP.NET and fell in love with C#. Yep. Garbage collection is a very good thing. You now have garbage collection in C++. Taml configuration provider is fully implemented. Well, help me out here, Copilot. What'd you do? You've implemented a generic TAML document class with the following features. Dictionary-based storage to hold any TAML structure. Flexible access. Indexer, try get value methods. Get section method to get nested documents. File IO. Parsing to method to create from TAML strings. Configuration support flatten method to convert nested structure to colon-separated keys. No. Well, no, that is configuration support, isn't it? All right. Hey, Frackberg. Hello. So we can load from file like this. Access values document with this key. Document get value in this. Get section. What's a section look like? Section get value. Yeah. Save to file. Flatten. So is there like a... There's TAML document. Is there like a TAML document section? Like, right? Get section was a thing. Yeah, that returns an object. Try get value to return... Oh, yeah, it returns Boolean. Yeah. There should be a try get value... A generic one. Get keys. Contains key. Get section. Returns just another TAML document. Okay. So if I have all that... Oh. And it implemented the configuration provider. You dirty dog. Not you. Not you. Get child keys. Get reload token. Load the document. Yeah. Okay. So does it work? I don't know. That looks like it should work. Let's write some unit tests. .NET new. Here, let's make this visible so you can see what's going on here. Right. .NET. Yeah. All right. .NET new XUnit. taml.configuration.tests. No, let's just put the tests in the other test project. Yeah. Add reference. Tamil configuration. Am I kind of going off the deep end with this? Maybe. Maybe. But it's fun. I like being able to look at the map and seeing exactly where the DoorDasher is. The deep end is the best end. Yeah. I think you're right. Let's give it both of these. I'd like to generate some unit tests in the tests project for the configuration extensions and the configuration provider for Tamil. Period. Make sure that we can use this with a standard .NET application that uses regular configuration. I don't know. That uses configuration providers. Yeah. In the Tamil tests. There we go. And away it goes. Oh, Dasher is pulling up right now. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let that run right there. And I'm going to head out and go get the food. And I will be right back. All right. Isn't the deep end the best end? Yeah. Dev Web Bro? Yeah, a little bit. This is Visual Studio Code, yes. And I have Copilot writing some code for me because I'm about to do a Hot One style blazing hot chicken wing AMA style here. Running tests. Lots of build failures there. Try again. And we're inventing a markup language. Because if you're going to do something and have a robot work on it, invent something. Like, look at that. It's written almost 600 lines of code. Like, go get it. Go figure it out. Oh my lord. What do we got here? Did they give me a menu? Happy hour. There's happy hour at Buffalo Wild Wings. BOGO wings every Tuesday. And the main act. Like, I gotta work around that microphone here, you know? And there's a bunch of sauces. A lot of sauces. Not gonna lie. And I want to make sure I order these right. Last time I didn't. They sent me a couple extra. No, they didn't. No, we're good. We're good. Like, the color of these sauces is a whole nother gimmick. There we go. Knife and fork? Really? Who uses a knife and fork when they're eating chicken wings? Uh-oh. It's making changes to the serializer. Now, the serializer's been working. Okay. Who eats wings with fighting irons? Fighting irons. Let me see what we got here. Well, good. They stuck by my request for all drumettes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are here. Okay. Chaos monkeys in full effect. Oh, now we were talking about earlier about the context, the size of the context window that that the AI has. When you see Copilot write this, summarizing conversation history, we've broken through the context window. And now, see, it's summarizing and saying, wait a sec, let me start over. I've got some failing tests. Now let me go write them. Let me go address it. You call cutlery fighting irons if someone tries to steal food from your plate. I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and I'm going to introduce... I I need to like organize these a little bit, I think. Like, oh, and the sauces are warm. Like mild garlic parmesan. Ooh, hot. You're going to go a little bit further down the list here. Like, yeah. Let's see. Jammin' jalapeno. Caribbean jerk. That's actually hotter than Thai curry. I wanted to get something that sounded. I think your mango habanero is going to go over here. Original buffalo. What's this one? Asian zing. Nashville hot. That's one of the hotter ones. I think that's kind of the order. Keep going. You do your thing there, co-pilot. Buffalo Wild Wings menu sauces. Yes, them. So I have 2 bags of the carrots and celery here. Thanks. I did not get the golden fire sauce, and I did not get blazing this time. So, you couldn't get into VS Code when you tried it over a year ago? Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Visual Studio Code, right, is something that I think gives a lot of flexibility to change, tweak, update, modify your editor, and it also streamlines and gets rid of some of the heavier IDE types of things that you might that a developer might want to use. So, let me go to this question from is it Sebasarmiant? I think that's how you pronounce that. What's the stack that a junior web developer should have? What are you getting into? What junior web developer? Like, I would absolutely make sure that you got to have HTML in there. You're going to need to have some JavaScript in there. Doesn't matter what you're using on the front end. Learn JavaScript.
You're not the only one cursed with knowledge, Fritz.
I'm not.
I too understand the burden of superior intelligence.
Do you? I'm glad to hear that, Charlie. I would choose some sort of server stack. A lot of folks would tell you to choose Node. If you already know JavaScript for front-end development, I wouldn't get too far into Node. But I would look at Java or C# for backend, because the majority of the enterprises, the majority of the companies in the world that are writing software are using one of those 2 languages. Now, the companies that are building commercial software might be using something else. But if you have a foundation between JavaScript, C# or Java, that's going to go a long way for you. You're going to want a relational database in there. You can learn very quickly some of the concepts with Postgres. You can get your hands on SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. There is a free local version that you can try out, but get involved with a relational database. You're going to want to learn about relational database design, tables, views, stored procedures, triggers, and then you're going to want to spend some time on a NoSQL database. Get into then something like a MongoDB. RavenDB is really good as well. You'll see there's a bunch of them out there that you can try out. Take a look at a vector database as well. Postgres has some fantastic things for people that want to get into vector database. So Redis, I would take a look at learning a little bit about Redis. That's a fantastic key value NoSQL style database that you'll really enjoy. Hey there, Aztec. Unless you want to go into building web pages for home pages or marketing, then you want to get into PHP and WordPress. Yeah, if you're getting yeah, PHP and WordPress is a whole nother kettle of fish. So I don't think I got Mango. Oh no, I did get Mango Habanero. Do they have this on like a scale here, or they just have them randomly on the screen? I think they have them just randomly on the screen. Like, can you? I don't want to. No. Do you have some order? Assuming that the hottest are at the top. Mango Habanero I have here. I'm going to push that one further back.
Ravenclaw hat confirmed.
Yes. I don't think so. Hot original Buffalo is back there. I don't know. Let's just go. Have I tried Zed? No, I haven't tried it yet. I've heard some folks say some good things about it. I have not tried it yet. I'm trying to get my own things built and done here and work on. So
I'm a Time Lord.
I'm
from the planet Gallifrey. You're from Earth.
Yes, I am.
Your code is from the Dark Ages.
Oh man, really? I'm going to start off here with mild. So let me back up. Let's get back over here. One of our goals, one of our milestones, as we're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, was to do an AMA style Hot Ones, progressively hotter chicken wing AMA stream. So I have 10 different chicken wings set up here. I will be partaking one at a time and answering your questions from chat. Charlie is listening. Any question that you ask in chat, you must either mention my screen name, C# Fritz, or end your question with a question mark, and it will go into the queue. All right? I'm only going to answer questions from the queue. I might not answer all questions from the queue, and I might not answer them in the order that's provided. I'll answer just about any question about tech, about .NET, about things at Microsoft. There are some limits to those things that I cannot talk about, but I'm happy to answer any of those questions about stuff here on stream. Let's talk. Let's have a good time. And have some fun with this. And I should promote and share some messages out here to some of the other places on Discord. Let me see here. So, starting the Hot Wings segment right now. All right. And over here, no, let's write it on social media. I had Buffer running. That's Restream. Yeah, there's Buffer. I kept Buffer running so I could post another one here. I'm starting an AMA with super spicy chicken wings on my live stream now. YouTube.com, C# Fritz. Twitch TV, C# Fritz. And we're going to post that now. Go. All right. Let's get into this. Oh, that stupid restream bot is popping through here. All right, first wing. Here we go. This is mild sauce. You can mild. All right. Hey, Fuel Snable. Hello. Let me get into this. Make sure you know that I am indeed, and I am going to eat as much of these wings as I can. Like, I'm going to try and clean them off. All right. I'm going to go to the first one here from Thindall. What do I use for voice input? On machine, Azure Services, or something else? I primarily use the Windows built-in voice transcription. Windows H, I think Marcus mentioned it there. Windows H on Windows. However, in the browser now, right? Everybody's browser has this. And I do this with Charlie. I don't have it turned on all the time. I rarely turn it on, in fact. You can do transcription in the browser natively. There is an API that you can call that will transcribe in the browser, and then you can use that text for whatever reason when you're in the browser, right? Trigger commands and whatnot when you see that text come through. So I primarily, when you see me doing voice typing into Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code, in Editor, but the browser, I use the Windows dictation on that. Linux doesn't have that type of native dictation that I can use, that I've found and been able to use. But I primarily use that. I want to try and figure out a way to do more with the browser-based dictation as well, because I think that is going to be some next level stuff that we're going to get into here. So there's your first question. Thank you so much. But no, I don't use Azure Service for that. Oh, Lundo, I'll come to that one next. Let me go to that. I'm going to pass on the Visual Studio 2026 just because I haven't spent time on their release stuff. This next one is Parmesan garlic. There you go. There, Verazer. Hello, welcome. Hang on. I think I know what the problem is. Why I'm not getting the monitor. 1 second here. Right. Yeah.
Go after him, Fritz.
I will.
You can take him. You're younger, you're faster, your code is cleaner.
I'm younger? Oh. Tell me some more. All right, here we go. This is Parmesan garlic. This is one that I do enjoy. And we're early. This is only wing 2. Like, give me the easy ones up front here like this. Oh no. Back? Okay. Had to be restream because I haven't dropped any frames here. All right. That was Parmesan, garlic Parmesan. Next question I'm going to go to is from Lundo Spark. How did I decide to start programming in virtual reality? And what monitor config do I use inside the headset? So, I use a Oculus Quest 3. This is called a Bobo VR head strap. It's a third-party head strap. It has a external battery that you can drop in here that augments the battery that's already on the headset, and it's got a fan in the front. So, and I use 2 batteries with this that I'll swap in while I'm coding. That's my setup. How did I decide to start programming in VR? I was at the time I was working on a Surface Pro 3 was what I had for work, and I had 3 extra monitors that work sent me 2 monitors, and I had one of my own, so I had 4 monitors that I was using. The 2 monitors that work sent me were 2 27-inch Dell widescreen that I turned port. It's trying to send. It's like Restream just completely cut me off. Are we back? Restream just reconnected me. I can see. Yeah, I'm pushing, but no. Restream is crapping out here on me. I haven't dropped from Restream. And are we on? It looks frozen. It looks frozen on my preview here. How about now? Nope. Okay, looks like we're back. If this keeps dropping, I will go to Twitch only. Apologies to the folks watching on YouTube. So that was my setup. I had 3 screens that I had plugged into my Surface Pro 3. And when I was away from my desk and I'd had just the Surface Pro 3, the little tablet with the keyboard plugged into it, it was frustrating because I only had this one tiny little screen on the tablet. So I wanted to try virtual reality headset, and I was getting into and checking that out, and I was looking at some of the popular apps that were on it. And there was screen mirroring things that you could use that would get what was on your screen into the VR headset. And I tried that, and it was clunky as all get out. This was 8-9 years ago. I was doing this with a Oculus Quest 1 with a Surface Pro 3, and it was clunky. But then I saw folks talking about the Immersed app, and that really had some good features in it, and that it was more interesting. Downloaded Immersed, tried it out, and I was able to get it working with 2 virtual reality screens in VR space. It was still clunky, but I liked it. I really liked it. And I would occasionally use it when I had some time to try it out and really spend time on using and working with that. MetaQuest 2 came out. The Oculus Quest 2 came out. I got that one, and the setup got better. And Immersed's software got better as well. And I would use two screens. I'd use my real screen and then a second screen above it. And I would use and I would code with these two 16:9 screens stacked. And it was nice. I would set up a portrait screen on my left side, and I would put Discord on that so that I could see all the messages on Discord and I could talk to folks and whatnot. And do primarily my coding between these two widescreen displays in front of me. Quest 3 came out. It looks like I froze again. Did I freeze? Looks like I might have frozen. Did I freeze on Restream? No, we're good. So Quest 3 came out. Much faster processor, better lenses, better resolution. Really, really good now to have that high def resolution in front of me. At about the same time, I got my 43-inch ultra-wide display that I use now. I have my screen set up in two halves. The right half is OBS, and it's right under the camera that I'm looking at. And the left half is my stage where you see me coding. I set up the Oculus Quest 3 with that, and it was amazing. Like, yes, this is what I want. So that's how I got started, and as the technology got better, I started using it more and more. Because the initial settings, the initial things that were there, to use it for more than a half hour, the headset just, it would go out of sync, and it was difficult to use. Moving your mouse and the pointer would after a few minutes would finally follow what you were using. It was bad. Now it's almost all in sync all the time. The setup that I use now in my headset, I have two ultra-wide displays that I use stacked. And I'll put a 16:9 display, high-def display to my right side. The top is where I'll put whatever music it is that I'm listening to. Spotify, YouTube, whatever it might be. I'll put Discord just below that. If I need to have email or something else open,
I'm in control
I'll stand
now.
up another...
Sort of.
Are you? No.
Actually, no, not really.
No. You're
Prince
right.
is still doing everything.
That's right, I am, Charlie.
I'm just observing anxiously.
Good. Be anxious. My left side, if I need email or some other communication program, on my left side I'll set up another 16:9 high-def portrait mode display, and I'll put those apps over there. When I'm working in VR, I want to be uber focused. So I usually only put up the one portrait display on the side so I can see the music that's playing. And I usually won't have anything on the lower half. I'll put Teams, Discord. If there's something that I need to be listening to for messages from friends or colleagues, I'll put that on the lower half on the right screen. But otherwise, when I'm working in VR, I have a really... I set up my screen that's right in front of me at 80/20. 80% to the left is my editor, code editor. The 20% on the right is terminal. So that I can have a terminal sitting right next to it that's vertical, that fits in, and I zoom it appropriately so I can read text going across. The upper display is where I'll put at least two browsers in side-by-side grid mode. 50% grid. One side will be whatever it is that I'm actually working on. The right side now is typically the Aspire dashboard. So I can look back and forth up there, and down here I can look back and forth on what it is I'm building and the console interactions. So that's what my setup looks like right now. I should do some sort of a blog post or something that shows that a little bit more, but it's a lot of fun. You've never done it in public. You love doing it in your laptop in the lounge. Yes, I do code in VR at my desktop. Yes, I've coded in VR like in the family room. It's really good when you're on the road and you're in a hotel room. So, and when I've done VR coding sitting at my bar in my hotel room suite in Vegas. And so I've got my laptop in front of me. I turn on the pass-through so I can see the rest of the room around me. And I've got my displays in front of me. So it looks like, it feels like I'm sitting at a Las Vegas bar and I'm working on my laptop. Really cool stuff. It's a lot of fun. What have I been told about eating over my keyboard? Well, yeah. I'll come to Napalm's question next. Let's see what's next. Original Buffalo is the next sauce. Man, we're only on sauce 3 here. Original Buffalo. There we go. So 100% on the pass-through. So I like to work on, I'll use a background photo that is the, it's a beach setting. So it looks like I'm sitting at the beach, and that kind of relaxes me a little bit. So, all right. Next wing. I'm trying to get the bigger wings out of the way with the smaller sauces, with the milder sauces. Ooh. All right, here we go. I'm gonna double dunk this. I think that's coming, Slakeboard. I think it's coming. Carrying around displays, I think, is something that... oh, look at this. Bonus content. I think is something that's going to go away. There was a very innovative laptop concept that was out 2005, 2010, where you would plug your phone into this frame that looked like a laptop, and it had a full screen display and a full size keyboard, so that you could use your phone as a laptop. With how powerful phones are becoming, using a VR headset with your phone with full-size displays, with full fidelity capability applications, I think it's just around the corner. I think it's coming. I've got a little bit more to finish on this. You bring a keyboard and mouse to Starbucks? I don't know. I feel like that's at Starbucks, I feel like that's a little much. At an airport lounge, go for it. All right, Buffalo, that's getting warm. That's getting warm. That's only 3. Next question here is from Napalm. Napalm and I'm eating hot wings. How do you stay so energized to work on side projects? I've been doing this for 20 years, and when I work all day, writing code is the last thing I want to do. I'm insane. No. And I realize we're on ad break. I will pause briefly here while we wait for the Twitch ads to end. Laptop, mouse, and headset. So headphones with my phone, totally on board. Totally on board. So you have a cafe with a basement where you can kind of hide. There you go. And ads are over. So how do I stay so energized working on side projects and the like? I make sure I find things that speak to me and are interesting and solve one of my needs. And this is why things like MyTag have taken so long. Like, it's something that I'm interested in. It doesn't solve one of my needs. You can't go to space. So it tickles my curiosity, right? There's a dopamine hit when I work on some of these. My tag has advanced in complexity enough that I can't just sit down and bang something out in 15, 20 minutes. The reason that you see me working on Tamil is that I literally I started opening my phone while I was having coffee the other morning, and I just threw the question at Copilot, and it came back with some really good responses, and it tickled my curiosity. I was like, okay, let's do this with the laptop and actually throw full GitHub Copilot at it, and it started getting somewhere that I was interested in. Because I was asking Copilot to do it, I was able to tell it, go figure this out and enjoy breakfast and do the various other things and then come back to it. So I'm finding now that I can do a little bit more async work by handing things off to Copilot, tell it to go do something, and then I can spend that 10 minutes reviewing what Copilot did, make appropriate changes myself, and then hand things off. I don't want to turn this into an AI promotion thing, but that's kind of my process now. And because I can be disconnected like that, I can still be involved and do other things. So putting together Lego with the family, watching Stranger Things, going out and working in the yard, shoveling the driveway, whatever it is. Having that balance and that set of other things is what keeps me going. Finding that little side project thing that is curious and that is interesting, and that's why I have so many of them, is because, right, I'll get tired of working on Tamil here in a little bit, and I'll roll over and do something else. Because, hey, that's interesting to me right now. My mind is moving and thinking in that direction. So that's a little bit of how I balance and deal with that. And I'm crazy. There's that too, right? All right, so I'm gonna clear out some of these. Patty boy, I'll go to this question next, sure. So the next one, I don't know how hot this is. I just threw it in here as number 4. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm going to Thai curry next. All right. I see some other comments here. I thought I saw Ravnos step in as well. You got to find things that tickle your curiosity. Oh, maybe it was Restream Bot that I saw. You love the Thai curry? I'm about to die? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. It's a travel stand. Oh, there is Ravnos. Nope, I'm not. This is the other stuff. Yes, this is the other stuff. Oh, that smells nice. Yeah. Okay. Not Thai curry. Thai curry, the way you spelled it there, Surly, is like I'm gonna dress up and put on a necktie. You're tempted to buy yourself a Quest 3. You have 2 portable monitors that only require 1 USB-C cable. Yeah. My problem is that every time I put those portable monitors in my bag and then put my bag under an airplane seat, one of the monitors cracked. So, Ty Curry is the adopted brother of Steph Curry. Ty Curry played the butler in the movie Clue. Did you know that? You finally fixed that bug? Yep. Looks like Visual Studio Code is ready to go there. So we'll get back to that after a couple more chicken wings. Here's number 4, Ty Curry. Right? Here we go. That's not bad. That's nice. It's peppery. It's spicy. There's definitely curry. That's not bad. Are you hearing the sound effects when the hat detection kicks in? Because I'm not. No? Okay. Oh, you do hear the effects. Okay. That's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm feeling the I'm feeling the heat there a little bit. I'm gonna have a carrot here while I answer the next question from Patty Boy. Can you back out there, Charlie? You know? Thank you. Do Americans really hang up the phone without saying goodbye, or is that only in the movies? I always say goodbye. I always acknowledge and say goodbye and let folks know, all right, I'll talk to you later. See ya. I don't say goodbye explicitly, but I definitely do a sign-off when I hang up the phone, yes. So, that's definitely a thing, yes. I don't think we're rude like that. Well, wait, I'm not going to speak for all the Americans, but my family, my friends, there are people, though, on Teams or Zoom or Google Meetings, whatever it is you might be using, that don't say goodbye when the meeting's over. They don't say goodbye. They're like, all right, thanks so much. Click. I say goodbye when the meeting's over and I wave. Hey, thanks so much. And I make sure to wave so that you know I am saying goodbye and I'm acknowledging you and my hands are not in my keyboard. So, yeah. I fully acknowledge there are folks who don't. Is the Quest 3 enough for developing? Yes, it is. Yep. And I do even code VR at my desktop. Code in VR at my desktop. Yes. Yeah, Findall. Did Microsoft send me the internet connection? And when I say that they didn't send everything I need, the connection drops? No. Your team's meetings often end with you saying, okay, see ya. Oh, they went already. I've seen that. Yes. Yes. I think it is a movies thing. You could end a phone call Vim style. Okay, then. :WQ. I think we should end our Teams calls, our Zoom calls with end of line. Just Tron style. Thanks so much. Great talking to you. End of line. Gosh. The Bobo head strap goes a long way. The head straps that come with the Quest headsets are not very good for long durations of wearing them. They don't rest on your head in a comfortable way. So, next sauce. Sauce number 5. Did that just... Is that? No. Caribbean jerk. Right, there you go. So, I don't spend every day in the headset. But when I've got a bunch of things to get done, I'll spend at least 2-3 days a week and a couple hours each day in the headset. Yes. Chuck doesn't say bye in online meetings the same way I don't say bye in face-to-face meetings. It's a meeting, not a personal call. Okay, I hear you. But I'll definitely say, all right, hey, it was great seeing you, Chris. Have a good one. Catch you later. I don't say goodbye, but definitely catch you later. See you around, something like that. I definitely do. Trying to get the Morpheus quote up there. I think you're in a cooldown. Nope. Oh, I turned off the bot text. Sooner or later, you're going to realize, just as I did, that there's a difference between knowing best practices and following them. The good thing about the head strap that comes with the Quest, it's great for laying down, though. They promote the Bubbo as being really good for laying down. Do I use the inbuilt speakers or headphones, or even my desk speakers? I use my own headphones plugged into the PC. Let's get into this. Right, Caribbean Jerk, right? I wanted to try and have some international flavor to my spices. Caribbean Jerk, here we go. Yeah, let's get this one. That's a good sized one. Oh, man. I agree, PC Nerd. I do like the Caribbean jerk. Jamaican jerk pork? Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Stream a while using the VR lenses? I have. I've done it in the past, and it's made some folks sick. Hey, Pusto in Maryville, Indiana. Hello. My lips are starting to tingle. Use Open Run Shocks bone conduction. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Where was it? I queued up another question here. Lundo Spark with this question. How did I get into streaming, and how do I keep up with it? How do you not get distracted and start loads of projects but never finish them? Don't you watch my stream? That's like half my shtick, is that I never finish them. Clip Talk we had to finish and put to bed. Like, that was a thing. Like, yeah. I got into streaming. You can find me talking about this on a couple of different podcasts and places. I'm happy to recount it here. 2017, I was working in the same department that I am now, and I was writing the blog posts announcing new features, new .NET language capabilities and whatnot. And they would always come to me with, here's the content for the blog post, here's the demo, here's the announcement, and like a paragraph or two, and then a pointer to the application, to the features, the documentation. And I would take that and turn it into a blog post overnight. Somebody would review it, and then I'd get it posted. And if somebody commented on the blog post, it would happen a couple days later. It might not even happen. And it was frustrating. It annoyed me that I put in all this work in this rush at the last minute, the day before the post had to go out, and I had zero feedback. And I didn't know if it was received well. I would look at the blog post views and like, okay, I wrote a good one there. Lots of folks read it and whatnot. So I talked to Carl Franklin, Richard Campbell, the hosts of .NET Rocks. They're friends of mine, and said, hey, what if I got into podcasting? Like, I really enjoyed, I was recording, I recorded a couple classes for Pluralsight at the time. So I had a nice microphone and had a decent camera that I was using for meetings at work. And both Carl and Richard said, go for it. Podcasting's great. We're having a lot of fun with it, and you can definitely turn it into something. You certainly have the voice for it and the personality to drive that kind of thing. But then I met up with Suze Hinton, right? No Opcat, She doesn't stream anymore. But I met up with her at a conference, yeah, and we were talking a little bit. I was talking about how I was thinking about starting podcasting, and she said, "You got to try live coding. Take a look at going on Twitch and just writing code and talking to chat and doing it live." And I gave it a try one Thanksgiving weekend. It was a weekend late in November in 2017, and I thought I would do something, a simple project that was stupid, that was fun. I downloaded OBS. I had a very simple layout where I had a gray bar over here with a number of viewer counters at the bottom, and I think I had chat going by just like you kind of see now. And the video is still on YouTube. You can find it. And I was writing an application, an extension to Visual Studio that would play the sad trombone when a build failed, and would play and would play some sort of celebratory trumpet sound when a build succeeded. And I had so much fun. And I'm not the only one that wrote that extension. And now it's kind of built into Visual Studio that you can set those values, those sound effect values, in the sound panel in Windows. But at the time, in 2017, you couldn't do that. And I had so much fun. I was like, I got to do this again. And I did it a couple more times in December. I went back to my boss and said, this is really turning into something. I'm getting as many folks watching as would attend a small meetup group. Oh, we'll keep doing it and see what you think and how it grows. And that was in 2018. I got my affiliate at Twitch, and I started developing a pattern and doing this. I went to TwitchCon in 2018 and met up with a couple other folks. I was sitting around a table, and it was no Opcat. It was Clarkio, Brian Clark. It was Code Rushed, Mark Miller. One or two other folks. Talk to Me Gooseman. And we talked about how we were live coders, and we were sitting around the table, and we thought, this is a lot of fun. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a stream team so that we could talk to each other and encourage and share what's working, what isn't working? Hey, that's a great idea. Yeah. None of us were partners. We were really the people that were doing it on Twitch at the time. And I was streaming it 3-4 days a week in 2018. And I was no longer writing blog posts for work. I was doing things for promoting, getting live video working. February 7, 2019, I got my partnership, Twitch partnership. I was the first live coder, first person who does coding on Twitch to get a partnership. So I established the live coder stream team. And one of the things we talked about while we were sitting around and having that dinner at, it's like a Chinese restaurant that we were at in San Jose. One of the things we talked about was, hey, it'd be great if we had gamer jerseys like the other teams, except they were coder things and all coder inspired. And we made the live coder gamer jerseys. I found sponsors that paid for our jerseys, and they got a little logo in the corner of the jersey, and the team loved them. I did it for 2 years. So we handed out jerseys in 2019 at TwitchCon. Hosted a big party for the stream team. There were like 30 people there. Still have both years. They're so good. But that company that made them went out of business. And I handed out swag with Live Coders branding on it to all the folks on the stream team. We had a bar that I rented out for the evening. And it was such a good time. And folks the next day, team members the next day at TwitchCon were walking around with these jerseys that said the Live Coders on it. They were purple and black and looked phenomenal. And there were people that, like, we would show up together at a booth. Like, we went, like, 4 of us went together to the Elgato booth, and we're like, can we set up some sort of a sponsorship with all of us? Like, you don't have to, like, pay all of us, but we want to work together with you. And it was so good. Like, we were able to do things with various companies together. It grew in 2020. COVID hit. Some folks got ornery and nasty with each other, and it fell apart. But consistency is my thing. Getting together and making sure that at least twice a week I'm broadcasting it out there. I commissioned mascots, Cody and Olive, right, for live code, right? Cody, Olive. And they were hedgehogs. And it was so fun looking. I was going to do a bunch of stuff with it and kind of fell apart. So I had journals made, leather-bound journals made. I had pens made. I had all kinds of swag made that we sent out. And it was so good. But there were other organizations and folks that were doing coding on Twitch that, quite frankly, wanted to see us fail. I don't know why. They hated us. They were constantly digging. They were constantly pushing and saying that we weren't an inclusive organization, and that we didn't. But there were things that we were doing wrong to exclude folks from being able to do this. I'm like, what are we doing that we want to make sure folks are committed to doing this, so we're looking for at least affiliate folks, and we're looking for folks who aren't nasty to people. And we made a couple mistakes with that, and some of the folks that you see on Twitch that are the larger, more famous streamers violated those rules and broke the team. So success breeds jealousy. Yep. That's right. Cody and Olive. Yep. We made stickers. I still have journals. I still have jerseys. So in 2020, they canceled TwitchCon, but I made jerseys for everybody. And I still have about 24 jerseys in my attic. GitHub gave me gamer jerseys to give to all of the live coders in 2020. They, since I wasn't able to get together, I still have 2 boxes of GitHub jerseys in my attic in all kinds of different sizes. I'll probably bring them to a conference someday and give them out. But there is a lot of toxicity on Twitch. And quite frankly, some of those folks that you see in the programming category that are above me in the viewership, they are toxic as hell. So, and I've got the receipts to prove it. So, and some of them got jobs with Twitch, and Twitch didn't know what they were getting into. They no longer work for Twitch. So, in general, there are some very toxic streamers. Yes. And the community is toxic because of the streamer. Can I hang on before I get into Wing 6 here? Let me take a second, and I want to thank you out there. Let me do this for a second, not only for this. Yesterday, we were on the front page of Twitch. We had more than 250,000 views of that stream. We had 3,000 concurrent people watching this channel. That is phenomenal. Thank you. But that's not what I'm most impressed about with this community, okay? I want to thank you because I didn't have to hit the moderate button once yesterday. I didn't have to ban anybody. I didn't have to remove any content from chat. It was safe for work. It was inclusive. It was welcoming. Yes, everyone was well behaved, but we had a good time together. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you out there so much for setting setting the temperature, setting the table, setting the Robert table for having a good time here together and being, civilized, welcoming, and inclusive. We had a couple dozen new folks that got engaged in chat yesterday, and you know what? They had a good time, and a handful of them said, yeah, I'm going to come back in the future. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So, thank you, Lundo Spark. Yeah, we're a fairly civilized bunch. And then I let you have access to, and then I built Charlie and let you have access to it. Thank you. Thank you, Angry 4-year-old. Yes, I have spent a lot of time building and establishing what we have here. So, next wing. Asian Zing. Let's do this one. It was a fantastic stream. We had a great time, PC Nerd. Yes. Let me see here. I'm trying to find another. I'm not going to go to the Butler question. They're all drummies, Ravnos. Yes, because the flats are kind of hard to get a large piece off of it, right? You don't get. I feel like you don't get as much sauce coverage. I'm looking for another question here. How do you keep the sauce out of your beard? Lots of napkins. Let me see here. Angry 4-year-old with a question about using AI to assist in documentation. Let's talk about that. But I got to get into this Asian Zing. All right, here's another big size drum. See, if I move it even closer to the camera, look at the size of that thing. It's as big as my head. Oh my gosh! Ah! Perspective. All right, here we go. Ooh. Look at the color on that. Right? All right, that's a good one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're getting somewhere. At some point, I should do this with the actual Hot Ones sauces. I have a few of them, but I'm terrified about buying Da Bomb. This is not good. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Patty Boy, wait do you see what happens after the next two? We're getting there. The lips are getting... let me go to Angry 4-year-old's question. I like this one. How do you feel about using AI to assist in documentation? I think it's for a small development shop, for a Scrum team. This is awesome because, right, in Scrum you're focused on delivering value, and you don't really have people that work on QA per se. So having people able to share and take some of that responsibility and generate a first pass at documentation. Not all of the documentation, not all of the tests the AI are going to generate are perfect. But if I can get 60% there, 70% there, do a little hand tweaking and tuning and get it to about 80-90% of what I want, I'm happy with that. The documentation that is out there for Tamil was all generated by AI. I pushed back and told it to change a couple things and had the conversation with it. But I think it did a really good job with it. Asking the AI then to take existing documentation and reformat it and summarize it and put it in a different tone, it's really good at that. So one of the things that I started asking the AI to do with that Tamil markdown document that I started writing was, let's turn this into something that reads more like an IEEE spec, right? An engineering society's specification. And it did a decent job, needs some work. I've got it saved here locally, and I'll eventually share that. But that type of generation of specifications, it's really good at. Generating documentation, dial Playwright in to take screenshots for your documentation as it's building it, and it looks really good. But make sure you read it, tweak it, tune it. The AI likes to use a lot of emotes, and it keeps using that M dash. You're a team of one? Do it. Do the AI. It will save you all kinds of time. Claude is a Claude, you're an AI? All right, Charlie. You can tell it not to use emotes or the M dash. You can. It'll do all right. It'll do all right. But you've been drafting up documentation for a small company that needs HIPAA compliance, using Claude to help write it. Yeah, as a single developer experience, it's phenomenal. When you get into multiple developers working on a team, in my mind, there's no such thing as a backlog anymore. Everything's in play. Stuff that you would say, this needs to be in the parking lot, we're not putting it in the backlog, it's in play now. Everything is in play. It saved you lots of time going back and forth, clarifying things. Yes, angry 4-year-old. Guiding you through documentation and brainstorming. So, there was a project that I had an idea for, that I literally broke out my phone on the plane after I got my Jack and Coke from the flight attendant. And I wanted to learn how to build a game with RenPy. And I went on my phone because I have T-Mobile, so I got free Wi-Fi access. I went on my phone and I dialed up copilotmicrosoft.com, and I started talking to it about building a game with RenPy, some ideas, some themes, and I came up with a game story called Ghosts in the Net. It's one of those things that I'll go and talk to the AI every now and again about some ideas, some character background, some puzzles that I want to build into it, and I'll have it generate documentation for that. And eventually I'll come back and have it generate and build out the game from that documentation. But I am way on board with this. And the folks that do write documentation can do a great job now helping to tune, organize, and publish it. So, yeah, I do have 2 boxes. Yeah, 2 boxes of GitHub jerseys. If I were to make them available for redemption, right? You donate $20 to St. Jude, and I will send you one of the GitHub jerseys, right? You saw me wearing the GitHub jersey yesterday. Would you be interested in that? You're not buying the jersey from me, but I will pay to ship it to you for a donation to St. Jude. Is that something that would be interesting? Think about that. Next. Oh, crap. All right, we're coming down to the fearsome foursome. Do I want that one last? Or do I want that one last? I think that one should be last. This one should probably be second to last. Nashville hot, jammin' jalapeno, and mango habanero. I'm going to put mango habanero at the end. Nashville hot is next. It would be interesting. Already, Thindall, I would absolutely bring one to you. You're welcome, Angry 4-year-old. That's part of the fun of the live streaming and today's little event here. If I had one about 5 to 6 XL, I do not. Sorry. There is I would have to get a list of what sizes that I have. So, all right. First off, Nashville Hot, which is only slightly spicy. No, it's very spicy. It's hot. Yeah. Okay. We're good. Oh man, here we go. All right. Because I'm going to start to feel this now. Really feel this. Oh, that's not enough. There we go. Ooh. That's great, Thindall. That was hot. I've had hotter, but that was hot. Love a good hot wing. Let's go, Urban Blaster. Yeah. Thindall asks, what's your favorite hat? Currently, I like the GitHub Copilot hat, but it's a little too on the nose right now. I think it's going to be my Mario Kart hat. West Dev Pro with the subscription. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you. Yeah, I have a Mario Kart. It's a Mario Kart hat, and it says established in. It's in the other room. I established something. So there's also an Angry Orchard hat. Where'd that one go? There's an Angry Orchard hat that I was wearing. I don't know where that one went. So thank you, Wes Dev Pro. So yeah, right now I think it's my Mario Kart hat. Right now. Has you craving wings for lunch? I'm realizing that I've been doing this now for almost an hour and a half, and I've still got 3 wings to go. I got to pick up the pace here a little bit. Dono goals for each sauce? Oh no. Can I change the focus point in VR and avoid using glasses? No, there's lenses you snap in there. Here, mine are right here. Right? So I get my lenses from Zenni Optical, and these were made right. They need to be made specific to what your headset, and these cost me $75. So, is that a hype train? Is that a hype train? No way. What kicked in the hype train? All right, we've got a hype train. And right inside, there's the 2 lenses that you snap into the headset. I primarily use my VR headset with contacts in. But these are set up as bifocal lenses so that I can look down at the bottom and get a little bit more focus on things closer. It's pretty good. Could the VR glasses be able to deal with it using software? No. It's the lens. Will I ship internationally? For the right folks, yeah, I think I would. Yeah, certainly some of the regulars that have been here for a while and have been subscribing for a while, I absolutely would ship internationally. Yeah, you've got the same brand. They're pretty good. They are pretty good. I did eat the same ones, different sauces, ice cream stick model, but yep. Catching up here. I need some more AMA questions here. Going into the hot sauce. About 3 minutes left on the hype train. I know, yeah, what triggered the hype train? I mean, Wes with the sub. That was it. Just spontaneous hype train. Don't know. You are just that cool. Evidently, Wes, you can trigger that. Let's go to that question, Marcus. That's a good question. I really like that question. It's kind of on the nose. Yeah, I've got the hot sauce. Really, how hot is it? Hot. No, what's it called? Hot. Okay. So, now this one, like, as you get deeper into the hot sauces, they start to become a little bit, a little bit more viscous. Like, they're thicker. Right? So, here we go. See, Pusto, our friends Ellie and Nick, they like that Carolina Reaper. Man, I don't know. I agree, Wes. Ooh. We used to have some Carolina Reaper salsa. The heat would definitely put hair on your chest. Oh man. It's coming around. Oh boy. I've noticed that, no reflection on anybody here, I've noticed that on the Hot Ones show, that's celery, but green screen, you know? On the Hot Ones show, the folks from the UK have the worst time with spicy food. The folks from the UK have it really bad. Silvery celery, a little bit. I'm going to go to this question from Marcus. What should never be used with AI? One second. Anything that directly impacts a human's health. Never. I do not want to hook any AI, any machine that can make a decision directly up to something that is taking care of someone's health. Having a machine monitor your blood pressure, having a machine regularly drip whatever medicine, totally on board with that. Having a machine decide how much medicine to dispense and dispense that immediately. Having a machine decide what surgery it's doing, what it should be doing as it's performing surgery on you. Issuing a program to a machine to do cataract laser surgery, that's borderline for me. I also feel right now where we are, AI that creates visual art is out of line right now. AI that generates photos, cartoons, still images, AI that creates video. It's out of line. We're at a time in human history where we don't trust each other at all. That's not a time for AI to be involved in those creative spaces. And I think a good portion of that is the mindset that people have when they do ask AI to do things is they're asking the AI to do things that they can't find somebody else to do. We had that question just a little bit ago about having AI help you with documentation. And as a solo developer or a very small development team, being able to offload that task that you can't afford to hire somebody to do. You don't have the patience to do because you have other business goals. Makes sense. I get it. But when we start talking about generating art, you're generating art that looks like so-and-so person because they wouldn't do that for you. And 9 times out of 10, the reason they wouldn't do that for you isn't because you don't know them. It's because you're going to ask them, you're going to have them say or do something that they wouldn't do. And you can go down all kinds of criminal and less than savory ideas of what that's being used for. And it is being used for. Somebody proposed a session for a conference that I was involved in planning about detecting and creating deep fakes. No, sorry, not a topic at my conference. No. So I'm gonna stand by the answer here of anything that directly impacts human health, or for that, and that also includes AI working with anything that could be used as a weapon of mass destruction, right? And on the edge there that right now should not be used, in my mind, are visual arts. So it can be hard to know with some of these deep fakes if someone else is doing the talking. So funny you should say that. I've been following a conspiracy theory. Sharer, I've been following a conspiracy theory that says that when President Voldemort gave his speech the other night from the White House, that wasn't him. I've been following a conspiracy theory where they've been the tinfoil hat folks, of which actually the vice president is one. They're saying that was AI generated because he doesn't talk that fast. His average word rate is like 70 words a minute, and that was at 150 words a minute. Even if it was recorded and sped up, you'd be able to tell because his motions. They're saying that was AI generated. They're also saying the other way you can tell is if you look at his lapels. His right lapel is not... It's missing a seam. You can't see where the edge of it is in the video at various segments in the video, is what they're saying. So, I don't know if that's right or not. But this is to exactly the question that Marcus had there for us. This is AI potentially faking us out. It was from a setting that he's not normally at, with a background that wasn't very complex. It wasn't in front of an array of flags or anything that you would look at and say there's something going on there. It was like Christmas decorations hanging on the wall. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson has had multiple deep fakes of himself proving the Earth is flat. Yes. You feel like generated image should always be tagged on any photo or video. I kind of agree with you, Pusto. An image that's generated, I would love to see a consensus from the big AI vendors, and I count my employer among them, that a watermark should be included on a generated image. Now, folks are going to cut that watermark out at some point, but I think there should be some sort of a watermark. Was he the correct shade of orange? Listen. The pumpkin spiced era of the United States is not an era that I am a fan of. Tech Workbench, thank you so much with the cheer.
What do you think is the best way for us to make you more AI fake proof?
I will, you know what, for that cheer, I will make that did it include that? It didn't include it. I'll come to that question next. I will take that question next, and then we'll go to Lundo Spark after that for the last question. And that I'll cue that up as the last question. We'll, if there's something else that comes along, I may take that instead. Can you use AI to determine if video or images are generated? Sometimes. This is Jammin' Jalapeno. Oh. Yeah, you've already had a couple questions, Lundo Spark. Yeah. See, it's thick. The sauce is thick. Like THICC thick. Ooh. Here we go. All right. Get a little bit on there. Oh. Yeah, that's jalapeno. Oh, I think the government absolutely is using it more than we realize. Oh, Mom's back. Hey, Mom. Oh, boy. This is Jammin' Jalapeno. Weren't I on a diet? I am. I've balanced things a little bit for today so that I can do this. Why am I not getting the audio for that? You were thinking about cake? You see smoke coming out of me? This morning your wife made a great wrap. For some reason the fly walked all over it, which in Canada is very hard to have. Yeah. Let me go to that question, that tech workbench. Thank you so much for the cheer. What do I think is the best way for us to make me more AI fake proof? I wouldn't be surprised if there's AI fakes out there of me. There's a lot of video of me. I've got a distinctive voice. I wouldn't be surprised. I think I'm going to snooze the ads here on Twitch. The ways to make more AI proof are to have some distinct things that the AI has a hard time working with. AI still stinks at generating hands. You'll notice I fluctuate the tone of my voice a lot. Like, that's something that I do to try to not so much make myself AI proof, but to make it more interesting listening to me. Things like that.
Your debugging approach is remarkably similar to Mr. Stark's, chaotic, improvised, and surprisingly ineffective.
Okay. We're gonna work on that, Charlie, I promise. AI stinks at graphical things like positioning and sizing. Yes. Yes. Things like, right, my beard, and it still doesn't do too good a job with hair like that. I'm taking lessons on how to use Italian hands. I don't need lessons on how to use Italian hands. I might be German, but there are enough Italian folks around me in my life, and my in-laws are Italian, that I know how to do all of the Italian hand gestures that I need to. I'm good with that. AI also has issues with typing of text in graphics many times too. Yes. Yes. But in that case, like, folks, they'll just replace the text here with whatever they want. Ooh. But wearing hats that have writing on it will definitely mess with it as well. So I'm willing to bet that the various glasses that I've worn will fake it out as well. So I am hitting that heat, Scherer. Yes. Mom, the sauces are hot. In the States, yeah, they refer to excessive hand gestures as Italian hands, because Italian American folks use hand gestures a lot. It is 7:15 in Stockholm. Have a good one there, Thin Dog. Yeah, my goodness, you're at work still? Get on the road. You're welcome, Tech Workbench. Those are some of the things that I've done. Oh, listen to Mom. The last one here is mango habanero. I'm multitasking and you're procrastinating? There you go. Mango habanero. I need one more question here. What do you got? What do you got? Help me out here. Throw a good question that you want to see me answer in front of my mother. So here we go. Last one. Oh man. Now this one, oh no. Yeah, it's, which is my favorite parent and why is it your mother? Well, let me answer that. So there we go. This is the mango habanero, right? Holy. Okay. I remember how hot that was. It's got a It's got a nice fruity side to it, but it's spicy. And with that, the 2025 chicken wing season comes to an end. Oh, I can feel it on my lips. Ow. Well, who's my favorite parent and why is it my mother? What am I getting Mom for Christmas? Oh. Oh, wouldn't you like to know? I'll tell you. Thank you, angry 4-year-old. Oh, man. It hurts right in the corners. Right here. Oh. Wow. I do. I didn't get blazing this time. But I do bring over wings, and Dad and I'll have lunch. And we are overdue for a lunch. So what is today but yesterday is tomorrow? I like that. I'll finish with Lundo's question here. What do you say to someone who's been out of work for a few months with ill health, not getting interviews? Don't give up. There are folks out there that need developers, that need tech folks for consulting gigs to help out with little tasks, not necessarily full projects, all over the place. With the advent of AI and the new things that folks can do with that, they need guidance, they need staff augmentation, they need help getting to a sane place with all of that. They think they're going to be saving time, developer time, but in actuality, they need more folks sooner so that they can get some of those, they can identify some of those AI capabilities and get them boiled into their projects. There's contract work to be found. It's out there. Establish some sort of a basis of who you are, what you can deliver. Blogs, YouTube videos, code samples. Get that awareness of who you are and what you're capable of out there. You'll get somewhere. Don't give up. Go to that one. Do I think startups are a good place to look for work? Depends. If you're early in your career, absolutely. There are some really cool things that you can learn and do at a startup. And it's going to grow and you're going to learn some really, really amazing, some really amazing techniques and ways to accomplish stuff. If you're later in your career, if you're up for the fast pace and the flying without a net, go for it. I'm somewhere in the middle right now. So for me, I'm not really looking at a startup as a place to go work. But I wouldn't say no if the right position came along. So there's definitely a lot for us as technologists at a startup that you can do. Before they canceled your contract, Alou says your last position was all about. Claude wrote 1.5 million lines of code, 6,000 endpoints, but only 1,200 lines worked fully. Oh no. Yeah, the corners of my lips right here. Thank you so much for indulging me in doing another spicy chicken wing AMA. That's a long time, Lundo. Get engaged with publishing code, get involved with open source projects to keep your skills sharp and to help other folks discover you. The cold water is definitely helping. Currently in grad school, thinking of looking to startups for employment. Yes. Oh my gosh. You're going to have a great time doing that. You're the entire IT and development team. You're going to have a great time working for a startup. Yeah. Oh yeah. How did we do here? Let's head back over to VS Code and take a look, and I think we'll wrap it up just after we take a look. It says the configuration provider is fully functional for standard .NET applications with typical configuration scenarios, including nested structures, arrays of primitives, and integrations with other configuration sources. So what did you change? 3 files changed. Yeah, the test project has a reference to the configuration binding. Okay. Hang on. Where'd it go? Yeah. It updated the serializer. What did it change in our serializer? There we go. Handle primitive types, handle dictionary types before collections. Oh, yeah. What else did it do? Down here. If it's a primitive type, if a line has no value and the next line is a deeper indent, it's a complex object. Yeah, okay, so allowing spaces. Pusto with the dono! And the Chaos Monkey is at it again. Pusto, thank you so much for that generous donation. $50 to the kids at St. Jude. Thank you so much. St. Jude was also one of your mom's loved organizations. You're very welcome. Much respect, Pusto. Thank you so much. But the Chaos Monkey is going to town for you, okay? So, thank you so much. Yes. $35.90 on the board now. I think we're 6th still in global fundraising during this drive. Right, where did we go over here? Give me a second. And then we'll finish taking a look here, and I don't know what this thing's doing. It's up to no good is what it's up to. Yeah, we are firmly in 6th right now in global fundraising. So, let me where are we? Over here, we can take a look at the issue. Oh no. That's right, the Chaos Monkey ran for mom. It's making something nullable that shouldn't be, is what it's doing for you, Pusto. And it says it's done. Here's a link to what the monkey has done here. It went into the command line argument extension tests. And it made the perfectly good string variables nullable. Oh no. Is Mom still here? Mom? Oh wait. I'm not in CodeMedic. I'm in Tamil. That's the other project. Okay. We'll look at that in just a second. And what else did it do down here? And then dictionary type. Okay. It says all the tests run. What is that? You created a CSX file? No, go away. And a test CS file? No, go away. And here's what I tried to write for tried to have it generate for an IEEE style spec. I'll share that another time. No, no, I don't want you to open. I want you to unstage that. Yeah. Yep, commit that, and we'll push that. And you can see that now in my working folder, but I need to go back over to CodeMedic, which we didn't get back into today, and I'm okay with that. It says it made changes. Oh no. Yeah, it made this nullable, and you can see over here, Chaos Monkey made this nullable for Pusto. Why would an array ever be null? Who knows? Thank you, Pusto. Additional null safety because apparently we're paranoid now. And the monkey is afoot. I will add that into the mix. Publish that branch. And then Mom made a donation earlier. Mom? Oh, it merged it into this branch. All right. Hang on. Where did it go? Over here. Oh no. Hang on. Close these over here. It made methods Hungarian notation. So inside this method, it made everything Hungarian notation. Obj cached, Dix versions, stream file because it's a file stream, doc XML because it's an XML document, NS namespace because it's an X namespace, elements package version because it's a collection. Oh no. Look at this. Okay. Okay. Yes, publish the branch. Oh, push it to origin. And I'll get that merge in. Yeah. So that was this one. So get central package versions. It made everything Hungarian notation. Looks like it was written with style from the 1990s. Yeah. Put that into the mix. Why not? Says it built, so. Angry 4-year-old with a question here. Do I use LaTeX or is Tamil my go-to? You were recently introduced to an in-browser LaTeX editor called Overleaf. Tamil is a markup language that we invented on stream. Tamil is something that we invented to make fun of YAML. But the more that we read that text format, the more it's starting to make more and more good sense. And you can read it. Yeah, right, because it's something we're literally inventing here on stream. And when you look at, and I've brought this up a couple times, when you look at the format of a sample document, that's really readable. PC Nerd, it would be amazing if it did. That is extremely readable. So it started as a goof, but there might be something here. Even tables would work? Maybe. I didn't have a concept for a table notation. Maybe there's something to table notation. I don't know. We can talk about it. We can think about it. But yeah, that could totally be a thing. All right. Where is Charles Samani now? I don't know. I do make Copilot handle my YAML and bicep. I do. I tell it, I don't like this language, you go write it, and it does a fine job with it. What happens if you change the tab size? That's one thing that I do think we will need to address. However, there is a point. Where is it? That's CodeMedic. Tamil. Yeah, close everything. Close everything, get this all open. We're going to show Fuel Snable a thing or two here. Close all those also. Like, not all of these are perfectly lined up. Right? Like, I should probably put another one in there. Right? If I want them to be lined up. They don't need to be lined up. The specification says one or more tabs between a key and a value. Indent levels indicate nesting, child properties, items in an array. So the size of the tab, for the purposes of the parser, doesn't really matter. However, right now that's tab size 4. Right? If I change that to 8, it still looks good. There's a couple places where it could use some help. But it's not terrible. Right? I think there is a place perhaps to put a preferred tab size up at the top. Two-column table key value lists. Yeah, like this right here is beautiful, right? If I change the tab size again, and we do like 5, right? It's readable. I think there's a place to perhaps override the tab size with some notation, some sort of comment directive up at the top. This was originally written with tab size foo. So, Sprut Tut, hello. Thank you for the follow. but allowing someone to put an enforced tab size. I don't think enforced might be the wrong word, but the recommended tab size is probably on board. But even with it being a little jagged, you can still read that pretty well. You can you tell the editor from the document? Like, there's a tab size, you can barely see it, right? There is a tab size right there. Hey, thank you for the follow, Wes. Right, and right. So I can set the tab size here. I also have editor config running, and it's specifying the default tab width. So maybe pairing an editor config with your Tamil documents. Vim supports editor config, VS Code, Visual Studio support reading and using editor config, right? I've gone and changed the display size. Right, so if I go open another one of these, right, it went back to tab size 4. So you're kind of defining, here's the tab size that I want you to use by using that editor config. C# is bland, can't make it spicy. Oh, come on now, typical hard worker. Certainly could make it spicy. You can do all kinds of functional structures now in C#. So we had some fun there with the hot wings. I'm about to wrap it up here, PC Nerd. Thank you so much. So we'll do more and tinker with this, but I think there's something to this idea of tab annotated markup language. I think there's something to it. We'll see. I'll throw a little bit of time at it here and there. I now have a configuration provider that I can bring into Aspire or other, right, ASP.NET, what have you. So, seems kind of Pythonic. Python's a space delimited language. I specifically asked Guido about tabs versus spaces, and he's like, no, I like spaces. All right. But I want to be able to use tabs. Well, just turn your tab key so that it emits spaces. I'm like, oh, killing me, Smalls. I'm lucky to work
okay,
at
so
the same
I've been
company.
watching you code for a while now at Londo Spark, and I've concluded that, well, we're all in trouble.
Charlie's got the spicy take on Londo Spark. Python and F# are both spaces, not tabs. Yeah. So the and talking to the author of F#, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. I can see him. Who created F#? Right. The lead, Don Syme, that's it. The talking to Don, and yeah, it's similar. Set up your tab key so it emits spaces. Go away. I want things to be column oriented, and for that to be sensible spaces it is. So I'm getting a severe weather alert also coming through that there are thunderstorms about to hit my area. So it's been a lot of fun. We had a long stream here today. We did our Spicy Wings challenge stream as promised. I am going to set up, so for, I'm not sure if it's going to be early next week or next weekend. Can I do next weekend? No, because Saturday I'm going to be in the Bronx for Penn State's bowl game. It might be Sunday the 28th. I need to work on the exact date with Mrs. C# Fritz, but she'll be joining me for the Lego build stream. We're going to be building a Lego Game Boy live on channel. All right. That's coming up I need to make sure that we do it at a time when she's not working. Know what I mean? We've got. I'm going to finish putting together the spec for our holiday coding challenge. You're going to be able to use whatever programming language you want, whatever tools you want. We will have 1 hour to build something fun and with a couple constraints around it. We'll submit them all and we will have somebody judge and announce a winner. It'll be a 1 hour coding challenge that you in chat will be able to participate in. I will post more details about schedule and what's involved over the weekend, maybe Monday at the latest, all right? But that's coming up as well. Thank you so much for joining us. This is always fun, and I'm gathering also in the Discord, I'm gathering ideas. I need a public domain sci-fi book that I'm going to read, books on tape style that you'll be able to listen to me reading. Thanks to Mom's donation here to take us over that $3,500 threshold. All right. It's been a pleasure writing code with you, having fun talking, enjoying some chicken wings, and having a good time together. All right. Have a fantastic rest of your day, wherever you might be. I'm gonna go find out who we can raid, and then I'll finish the sign off. I'll finish the sign off. I gotta set up that Twitch raid. You know what? No, let's have some fun and let's go raid somebody who's doing crafting and actually doing crochet. Whoa, what happened there? Yeah, let's go. Let's do this. We're gonna raid Fairy Wings. I don't raid her that frequently. Let's go. We're gonna go raid Fairy Wings. She does fundraisers for St. Jude, for Starlight House, for a bunch of other organizations. Let's go say hello to her. Thank you so much. And I will be back. I should be back on Monday. We'll see what happens. But keep an eye on the Discord. Keep an eye on my social media. And we'll have... is there a raid message? I don't have a raid message, no. I'm sorry. Doesn't work in this bot yet. So, all right. Get ready to say hi to Fairy Wings, and I will see you next week. All right? Don't forget, I'm going to be reading 'Twas the Night Before Die Hard next week on stream as well. Have a good one. If I don't see you next week, have a great holiday. And I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.